Welcome everyone to the Hobby and Tech Warrior. J4 here, and in this video I have something airsoft for you guys. Specifically a repair for underperforming hop-ups on gas blowback airsoft pistols. This video is one of a two-part series comparing two P226 style GBB pistols. Part 1 is a shootout comparison that focuses more on comparing results, while this video will focus more on the process of applying the actual fix. If you're interested in the results, I would consider that you take a look at part 1, which I've linked down below in the description. Here I have a WE-Tech F226 with a hop-up problem. Ever since I got it, it had been plagued with inconsistent shot-to-shot muzzle velocity and range. My first clue that something was wrong was due to the inability of the sidearm to retain BBs in the chamber, as shown here. For those new to airsoft, hop-up is the feature that airsoft guns use to give BBs backspin to increase range. Manufacturers produce different designs of hop-up chambers to fit various replicas, but all of them serve the same functions. In my case, the BBs rolling out of the chamber and barrel was a dead giveaway that something was wrong with the hop-up. To further diagnose the problem, I purchased a new Airsoft 226 from a different manufacturer, which I knew had a good hop-up chamber. This is a Tokyo Marui P226. Tokyo Marui is a Japanese manufacturer known for good stock accuracy. To the right is the WE-Tech F226, whose disassembly process is essentially the same. Out of curiosity, I tried to see if the slide and frames were interchangeable between the Tokyo Marui on the left and the WE-Tech on the right, to which case they weren't. This means that parts made for one or the other will not be cross-compatible without some modification. Stripping the slides down to the inner barrel, we can get a closer look and comparison between each chamber, with the Tokyo Marui chamber on the left and the WE-Tech on the right. With our rolling BB problem in mind, I scanned the chambers for the culprit and traced it to the positioning of the hop-up arm on the chamber. The hop-up arm is an adjustable component that puts pressure on the rubber bucking from above, and I discovered the WE-Tech hop arm was sticking out a fair bit from the top of the hop-up chamber despite being at the lowest setting. Meanwhile, the Tokyo Marui arm sat relatively flat, recessed a little even. Turning the dials and applying the max amount of hop-up, the WE-Tech arm only manages to level out with the top of the hop-up chamber surface. On the other hand, turning the Tokyo Marui's dial lets it drop significantly lower into the Marui's chamber. This lack of elevation adjustment on the hop-up arm of the WE-Tech F226 chamber is what is causing all the problems I've previously mentioned. The solution is to somehow bring the hop-up arm closer against the rubber bucking inside the chamber. To fix this, I took a chance and purchased a Quanju Works or KJW KP01 replacement hop-up chamber. KP01 is the 226 designation of the KJW branding. Just from visual inspection, the hop-up arm of the replacement already sits low and flush with the chamber's top surface. This replacement chamber is compatible with Tokyo Marui, while modification is required to fit it in the WE-Tech F226. Unfortunately, half of one of the body screws became stuck when the screw head snapped off while trying to thread it in, so instead of modding it and going with a full chamber swap, I decided to transplant the arm by itself. After opening up the chambers and comparing the arms side by side, a subtle difference can be observed. On the left we have the KJW arm, and on the right we have the WE. The KJW arm had a slightly lower top arch compared to the WE, and an ever so slightly shorter overall length. Luckily, the KJW hop arm is a direct fit in WE-Tech's chamber with no modifications required, and after putting the chamber back together, we can already see a significant improvement in the position of the hop-up arm. At the lowest setting, the arm sits nearly flush along the top of the hop-up chamber. This means that the dial will only require little adjustment to immediately see any effect from the bucking. To take it further, I decided on swapping out the adjustment wheel from the KJW set as well. Looking closely at the WE-Tech wheel on the right has a slope on the groove that doesn't change very much initially, while the slope on the KJW's wheel groove shows a more rapid change. The result should be a more responsive dial that has even more pull on the hop-up arm. A hop wheel swap also happens to be a drop-in fit which doesn't require additional mods, although you might want to use the O-ring that came with the KJW replacement chamber and some gearbox shims to get the adjustment wheel to sit snugly. After this part, it is just a matter of putting everything back together again in reverse order. The hop-up chamber should now confidently chamber the BBs on the lowest setting without them rolling out, unless pushed with intention. At this point, shot-to-shot consistency will greatly improve, leading to a more reliable airsoft sidearm. To see the results, please take a look at the links in the description below, or this following pop-up video, and I'll leave it at that. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.